Today I want to talk about something that I see is on a lot of people's mind, and as I'm watching, I see people have these questions. It's like they have a deep calling to make a difference in the world, but they're often stuck. So the question that I hear people, a lot of people ask, and I see people asking, like, how do I even start a nonprofit? I want to start one, but I don't even know how. So you're not alone. So many change makers and community leaders have incredible ideas, but the legal process feels so overwhelming. But don't worry because I am going to break it down into clear, actionable steps so you could take your vision and turn it into a fully recognized nonprofit organization. So stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what legal steps to take and what forms to file to get your nonprofit up and running. So the first process of starting a nonprofit can feel like a maze. There are legal requirements, government forms, and financial considerations. And let's be honest, most people give up before they even get started because they don't know where to begin. Trust me, I understand. But here's the good news. It's absolutely doable. People say, if I done it, you can do it too. Yes. And I did it almost 4 decades ago when the paperwork was this thick for the state and this thick for the feds, right? And so it's so doable. And today I'm going to guide you step by step through the legal process and show you the exact forms you need to file so that you can focus on what truly matters, and that's making a difference. We don't have to let the paperwork get in our way. And often, so many times, wonderful people with wonderful ideas don't put them out there because the paperwork stands in their way. I've helped countless nonprofits get started. I've even seen the transformation that happens when passionate people do take action. Whether you're launching a youth mentoring program, a food pantry, or an environmental initiative. Trust me, I've been in your shoes navigating the same legal hurdles. I know what works and what doesn't work, and I'm here to make it simple for you. Okay. So there's 5 key legal steps to start your nonprofit. So the first thing you want to do is you really want to sit down because this is something that we don't do. It comes out of our passion, but we don't sit down and we don't define our mission and our structure. And so what I want you to do is get your pen and papers. I want you to write this down, okay? So write down, what problem are you solving? Who do you serve? Okay. Then I want you to decide on a name and a structure. You know, you're going to be a nonprofit corporation. So what's your name? What's your structure going to be? You're going to be a 501c3? Are you going to be an association? Are you going to be a church? Write it down. Okay. But you want to make sure that your mission aligns with the IRS nonprofit requirements. Can't be something that you came. If the IRS has a requirement, and you want to make sure that you fall in line with it. So mostly I'll be talking about the 501c3. Okay. So after you've defined your structure and you know what your name of your organization, what you want to do is you want to go to your Secretary of State, and most of them is the Secretary of State in whatever state you're in, and you want to file your articles of incorporation. And it's really cool because a lot of states they'll help you. And a lot of the forms are done right online. It's just answer some questions, okay? And in this, they have the specific IRS language to qualify you for tax exempt, so you don't have to worry about whether you qualify. If your state accepts you to file for your nonprofit corporation paperwork and incorporate you, they're meeting the IRS standards, okay? And after you're going to apply for that, you're going to wait about a week or so for your state to send you a letter and say, hey, we've approved your articles of incorporation. You're going to have your incorporation date on there. And then that's when you're going to go and you're going to apply for your EIN. And you're going to do that with the IRS. Your EIN is your employer identification number. And what's great is also going to be your tax ID number for your nonprofit. And this is like your social security number for your nonprofit. So you're going to apply for this online, and guess what? It's free. And go ahead, they can mail it to you or they can email it to you. I recommend getting it right then and there and letting them email it to you, or you can download it. Now, let me tell you, when you download it and you save it, and you know where you save it, because if you don't download it and save it and you lose it, you're going to go through some hurdles to get it back. Okay. So make sure you download it. Okay. Then after you get that, then you want to go on over to the IRS and you're going to file for your tax exempt status. And you're going to submit 99% if you're just starting and haven't been doing this work long, haven't been doing anything with your nonprofit or very little. You're going to submit the form 1023EZ, and that's for small organizations. On that form, it's again just going to answer some questions. You're going to explain your mission, any finances, and you're going to explain your programs. And they want to know who your board of directors are. Okay. So you're going to submit that. It's going to cost you $275. And then you're going to sit back and you're going to wait for the IRS approval. It could take weeks to months. And depending on where we are right now with the stream of things in our political arena, it may take a lot longer than it did previously. So, but there's things that you can be doing while you're waiting for your tax exempt status. People always ask me, can I do some fundraising? And yes, there's ways you can do fundraising. So there's things that you can be doing while you're waiting on your exemption. Okay, so once you get your exemption back, this is where a lot of people stop. Once they get their exemption back from the IRS, when they're going to send it to you through your email, you have to go back and apply for your state exemption, because what you did was you filed your articles of incorporation. You did not file your state exemption. Okay, so you're going to go back and do that. You're going to register for your charitable solicitation if you're fundraising, because most states require that. And you want to find out what other things that your state requires. Our states require some specific things. And then you want to make sure you maintain annual reports to keep your nonprofit in good standing. Okay, there's filings you have to do on an annual basis, and you want to make sure you do that. I know that was a lot, right? But let's simplify it first. First, make sure your mission is clear. Secondly, get your legal foundation by incorporating and getting an EIN. And third, apply for your tax status. And then finally, handle any state requirements so you can legally operate and fundraise in your state. And if you tackle these one by one, you'll be well on your way to launching a successful nonprofit. And you have to tackle them one by one, because one leads into the other, right? You have to get your articles first. But then after you get your articles, wait for them to come back. Then you get your EIN. You wait for your EIN. And then once you get your EIN, then you can go do the IRS. And then after you get the IRS, then you can go to circle back around to your state and send them the paperwork that you got your IRS exemption. Okay. So now that you have the roadmap, don't feel overwhelmed. I know it might sound overwhelming, but don't let that stop you. If you're serious about starting your nonprofit and you still feel like, but Vanessa, I'm still not quite sure. I still want somebody to hold my hand and show me what to do, and you went a little too fast. I have a free community. And in this free community, I have a free video course that walks you step by step through the process. Let me show you a little bit about it. You can go ahead and click that ticker, and you see where it's going to. It's going to take you to my site where you can go ahead and join the free community, learn more about starting a nonprofit. But please don't let the paperwork stand in your way, because guess what? Believe it or not, I'll tell you a secret. Ready? Ready for the secret? This is the easiest part. This is the easiest part. But it gets tough when you're running a nonprofit. It is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. It's going to be a lot more work. But I recommend you doing this. You can go out and find somebody to do it for you, but I recommend you doing it yourself. You can find somebody to do it with you. We'll walk you through the step-by-steps. And then what's also great about going through our free step-by-step program is that I have open hours on Monday and Wednesday. So you can come and ask me questions. This is generally right after this call. You just pop on to Zoom, and it's also in the events here. So if you go into the events, you can pop on to the events. Let me show you where that is. Okay, so you can go ahead and you can pop into the event. So today, you'll see whatever day it is. You click on whatever day that it is, and it'll give you the link. Okay, And that's where you can come in and you can ask any questions that you want to ask about starting and building your nonprofit. Okay? So come on in and join me. All right. So I wish you much peace and much success. Don't let this stop you from fulfilling your dreams and your goals. And after you get this process started, I'm going to show you how to do some fundraising while you're waiting on your nonprofit status. So peace and love, and I will talk to you soon. I'll see you in the question and answer if you're watching this live.